Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video today, I'll be talking about the reason why your PES 17 Part 26 lags and how you can fix that. This video was to be in two parts, was supposed to go straight, but I divided it into two parts for the sake of length. So, but in this one, I'll be talking about lags, and in the other video, I'll be talking about why your game usually first closes. So, when the part two video drops, I'll leave a link to it in the description of this particular video. So make sure you check it out. Now, let's dive into this one. Now, the first and probably the most common reason for game lags is low RAM. That one is number one, low RAM. So if you're having a low RAM, your game will surely lag. All right. So now, while P17 itself, that's the original P17 itself, is not very demanding RAM wise, the patches that modders create usually contain high resolution faces, kits, stadiums, effects, and others. All right. So 4 gigabytes of RAM may struggle like with handling that. All right, all the high resolution stuff. So the gigabytes of RAM will actually struggle. So and once it does that, it's going to cause the game to stutter. So to fix the problem of RAM, you have to consider installing 8 gigabytes of RAM or higher from 8 gigabytes upwards. It's a good recommendation for RAM. All right. So if you have 4 gigabytes of RAM, you are running short. If you have 2 gigabytes of RAM, well, I don't even think you can play PES 17 patches with 2 gigabytes of RAM and expect it not to lag. All right, the second one is a weak graphics card, your GPU, your graphic processing. All right. Now, the work of the GPU is to render players, render crowds, that's spectators, render stadiums, and render effects. So, if your GPU is low, you will have low FPS, frame per second. Then stuttering and slow gameplay. That is what you will have. Now, while a dedicated GPU is always recommended, the ones you buy off store and you install in your desktop computers, while it is always recommended, even the smallest integrated GPU has been proven to handle PES 17. That's the original PES 17. All right. Some, however, still causes lags. That's the struggle. Some GPU struggle. I'm actually using Intel HD 520. Yeah. I know of a friend that uses 620 and they all work perfectly. But when you start getting into HD 3000 and all those older ones, you might find out that they actually lag a bit. But all the systems that I've played PES 17, they actually worked fine. All right. But I had to do some adjustments, some graphic adjustments. All right. So I will show you right now how to check your PC allocated GPU and how to tweak your game settings. So after checking your GPU, you've seen that maybe your PC is running behind or has a low GPU. How you can then tweak the settings so that you can be able to play PES 17. Well, so you don't want to have a low GPU and you're attempting to play the game at the highest graphics. It's not just going to work. So I'm going to show you now how to check your allocated GPU. So if you come to your desktop, you right click on your mouse or on your trackball. Once you right click, you go to display settings and click on that. So this will take you to the display settings where you see your brightness level. You can increase and decrease that. So I'm going to go down And once I go down to the last, I'm going to see this option that says advanced display settings. So I'm hovering on it. So I'll just click on it. And once I'm in that environment, I'll come to display adapter properties for display one. Display adapter properties for display one. So once I click on it, it's going to show me the dedicated video memory, which is the graphics memory. So as you can see, I am the adapter type is Intel HD Graphics 520. So, and I have a total available graphics memory of 1,122 MB. I think I've seen some videos that actually say that this available graphics memory can also be tapped into, but I don't know how to do it yet. But they say that since you have up to 4,000, up to 3,000 and above, you can be able to collect more from there. I'll check if I have the video. I'll also do the video so that you guys can as well learn that. So dedicated video memory is 128 MB, even though it's below the recommended graphics memory for PES 17. My game plays at the highest graphics and has no problem at all. It runs smoothly. So you shouldn't pay attention to that much. If you have 64 MB, if you have 32 MB, even if you don't have, I've seen one that doesn't, a system that doesn't even have 0 MB and still plays page 17. But trust me, it's going to lag. It's going to lag. So from 64 MB upwards, we run this game smoothly. But the only thing is, you might not have some options or some graphic options available for you. So if yours is 128 MB and above, congratulations, your page 17 is going to run just fine. So if you have 32 MB and down, so which means that you have to do some uh, game settings. So we're gonna go back. So I'm gonna fix all of this. So if you have 62 MB and less, and your game doesn't run fine, maybe 32 MB might as well run fine. You have to come to your game settings. All right. Now, if you are in this screen, you might consider reducing this to low. But I see that P17 is smart in this. If your GPU, your processor is below what it takes, it will actually give you these two options out, this medium and high. You cannot be able to select them. But I know that there's a trick to force you to select them. Yeah, I've seen a number of tricks that will force you to select high and medium, even in low end PCs. But I don't recommend that. If it is grayed out, leave it like that and play on low quality. All right, as you can see, I can select up to the highest. I play this game at the highest and it just runs fine. After 128 MB GPU, it runs very, very fine. So the reason why I always bring it to low is because when you play at when your system is not plugged in and you play at the highest graphics, your battery will run down. You might not even finish a match and your battery will run down. So I usually keep it on low because my younger brothers actually play the game. So I like to keep it on low so that when they play, they can actually play like two, three matches before the battery runs down. All right. So I'll keep it on low still, and then okay. So, but assuming you have maybe one of these selected and your GPU is below 64 MB, so you might come down to medium try. But if the game still lags, you can then come and select low quality, and then you click OK and save that. All right, so that's how to check that. Now the next one is slow hard drive. If you're still using a HDD powered PC in 2026, please change it to an XXD. If you're still using hard disk drive, please change it to a solid state drive, because you will get faster load time and a smooth gameplay. All right. If you're playing from a HDD system or PC, it's going to lag. It's going to lag because the fastness will not be there. All right. So make sure that you are using an SSD um, storage. All right, on your system. So the next one is the one that most people don't even pay attention to, but they don't know that it causes lag for them. Overheating. If your ventilation space for your PC, if the ventilation space for your PC is under the PC, all right, like you have laptops that the ventilation area is under, all right. Mine is on the left side, so I don't even need to bother. I don't need to place my laptop on a stand. So it's on the left side, and the air actually goes out without any interruptions. But if yours is under your PC, you should consider getting a stand so that you place your PC on that stand, and then the air can find space to escape. All right. So if you don't do that, your game will play fine at the start. It will start fine. Then, because of that air that is not going out, it will overheat. And once it overheats, the CPU is downgraded. The CPU will no longer work how it's supposed to work, and your game must. Now, this one is a must surely lag, must surely start lagging. So check your PC. If you're using a laptop, check it, see where the ventilation area is. If it's under the laptop, make sure you get a stand to place your laptop before you even start playing PES 17. All right. So, but if it's on the left or at the top, you don't have any problem using a stand. All right. So that is that for overheating. So the next one we are going to talk about is too many background programs running at the same time. Too many background programs running at the same time. Now, if you're like me, who is into graphic design, building design, and web design, you don't want to leave CPU intensive softwares like CorelDRAW, Illustrator, Photoshop, Blender, ArchiCAD, etc. running, and you want to start phase 17. You have maybe one of these, or maybe more of these running, and you want to start phase 17. It's not going to work. Sometimes your system might even freeze. You might never use that system again until you turn it off and turn it on again. So make sure that you exit CPU intensive softwares before you run PES 17. All right. Make sure everything is quit and it's only PES 17 that is running. All right. So the next one is incorrect graphic settings. All right. I've actually touched on it when I showed you how to reduce your graphic settings. So I have a Lenovo Core i5 laptop. That's what I use, and that's what I'm recording with. So it has a 128 MB allocated GPU memory, which I've shown you, and it has a processor speed of 2.4 gigahertz. So it plays at the highest graphics and it's fine. All right. If you have Intel Core i3, i5, and i7 integrated graphics, not dedicated graphics, integrated graphics, because many integrated graphics play this game very well. Um, you might you most of the times you will not have any problem because I've played this game in Core i3, Core i5, and Core. Okay, I've not played it in Core i7, but I played it in Core i5, i3, and i5. My previous laptop was Core i3. So I didn't notice anything. All right, they played just fine. So from Core i3 with a good processor speed of at least 2.2 and above, this game will run smoothly. It will run smoothly. All right, and then maybe you get a dedicated GPU of maybe 64 MB. You're good to go. All right. I've also played this game on Intel Pentium. So even if you have Intel Pentium, don't lose hope because I've played this game on Intel Pentium and Core 2 Duo, my far back systems. All right. So they played well. They played well. Intel, especially on my Intel Pentium, because that Intel Pentium actually had a good processor speed. All right, it has a good processor speed. It was Intel Pentium, but it had about 2.3 gigahertz of processor speed, and also had a dedicated of 64 MB. All right, so it played very fine, but the only limitation was that I couldn't select medium and high graphics. They were grayed out. All right, they were grayed out. So I was only stuck with low graphics. I couldn't select medium and I couldn't select high. But at that low graphics, it played just fine without stuttering. Even with all the patches that I installed it played just fine. So if you have Intel Pentium, don't lose hope. If you have Cortudo, uh, don't lose hope. The game will play depending on the supporting factors, the GPU, the processor speed, and the rest of them. So so check what you have and make the right adjustments. Um, so that is that for that. And lastly, I want to tell you one that will blow your mind. I want to show you one that will blow your mind. And that this one is actually a bonus one. You might not even see this one coming. You see this slideshow wallpaper. That slideshow wallpaper is a big red flag when you want to play PES 17. This might sound like a bluff. Even I couldn't believe it that the occasional stuttering I was getting when I was playing PES 17 was actually caused by my slideshow wallpaper. Whenever a new picture, I think it's about six. You can actually change the time frame when a new picture comes up. All right. So when you're playing the game in the background, these wallpapers keep changing in the background as you're playing your game. That time that the wallpaper want to change, it usually takes a lot of CPU in the background, which will actually reduce your FPX. That's your frame per second. And once it reduces your FPS, your game will stutter. For that time frame that it takes for the picture to come up, that's changed in the background and come up, within that time frame, your game will stutter. You will notice that your game is running slow. But when that transition finishes, your game comes up again and starts running fast. This was an issue for me because sometimes I use my PC for commercial purposes. So I let people play game on my PC and I get paid for it. All right. So that was a problem for the players. Sometimes they'll be heading towards goal and then the stuttering begins, the lag begins. So it was a huge concern for me. So when I actually found out was when I was trying to add some new faces that I downloaded. I wanted to add it to the game. So when I was doing that, I noticed that when that transition tries to happen, even the application that I was using, the software I was using to do that keeps keeps doing the same thing. Not only the game, even the software that I was using for that keeps lagging and stuttering. So I monitored it and then I realized that that is actually the issue. And then I went in and then I changed the wallpaper to one static wallpaper, and that solved everything. It actually solved everything. So try this. If you have a slideshow wallpaper, go and try it. Go and try it. Go and try removing it to a static wallpaper, and you'll see the miracle. All right. So these are the ones that I found out. So if you have any questions regarding any of the points that we've established here, you can ask it in the comment section. So I'll be leaving the link to the next video, which is why your game first closes. I'll be leaving it under in the description of this particular video. So do well to check it when I drop it. I don't know when it's going to be. It could be in the next 2 days, but when I drop it, I'm going to leave a link there. See you in the next one.